Bwana Adan. Pending bills has been a big key topic of discussion in this country. And as at, I think, June last year, there were a total of almost 700 billion in pending bills. Mm-hmm. And IEBC has not been left behind in terms of pending bills. And in their list of pending bills, legal fees is the leading pending bills at IEBC. They have a budget of over almost 3.3 billion, 3.2 billion in terms of legal fees. So noting that you have a legal background, if appointed as a commissioner, you will be offering legal advice to the commission. So what strategies and policies will you put in place to ensure that this issue of pending bills and the huge budget of legal fees is addressed at IEBC? Thank you.
Thank you, FCPA. I think, first of all, for us to be able to reduce the pending bills, we need to form a committee. Similar challenges have been faced even with county governments, whereby there is need for audit of these legal fees on the basis of which ones are verifiable. Sit down, holder, committee, stakeholder, call these advocates to a round table, and then negotiate so that you can see whatever is verifiable can be reduced. Number two, budgeting is also crucial because you cannot be sourcing for services on the basis of funds that you don't even have. So it's crucial because, you see, IEBC's enormous legal budget arises when it comes to election season, because even lawyers call it the boom season when it comes to election petitions and litigations that follow after. So if you can set out and map, have framework contracts with advocates so that you can negotiate also their fees in advance, bearing in mind that advocates' fees are also regulated by advocates' remuneration order. Another suggestion that I can come up with is having in-house counsels, whereby this can greatly reduce the outsourcing of outside legal work to reduce the cost that is being faced by the Commission in defending litigious matters. Another suggestion will also be basically the first in, first out rule, whereby the first bill that comes in is to be settled first.
Should IEBC actually be in court?
IEBC is an arbiter. You see, advocates will agree with me that when it comes to, I'll give you a practical example. When it comes to land matters, the chief land registrar is always in court. Why? Because he is the custodian of the documents. In this scenario, where two parties go to court together in election petitions, IEBC being the arbiter is mandated to be there so that they can produce the documents. So what needs to be done is proper training for staff, capacity building amongst, of course, the people who conduct the election and the returning officers and county returning officers, so that this documentation can be produced systemically at the end when each and every party cites a dispute. Because, you see, at the end of the day, any person has a right to ventilate his issue. So you cannot say that IEBC cannot be there as an arbiter, as the person who, as the referee, basically, in that election.
I thought there will be a litigant, somebody who goes to court, then there is a defendant. So why should IEBC be there?
They are the custodians of the document. There is remember, Section 86 provides for application for scrutiny of ballot boxes. So if IEBC is not there, who will be producing those documents? You see, a court order only affects a person who is a party to that suit. If I'm not a party to that suit, I will just file it away if I'm served with those documents.
Thank you, and I wish you well. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I invite Evans Misati to ask some questions. Evans, please.
Thanks so much, Ibrahim. Now, in trying to establish your suitability for the work of the IEBC Commissioner, please tell us your understanding of the roles of the Commissioner and the Secretariat in terms of recruitment and supervision of staff, their distinct roles.
Thank you, Mr. Misati. If you look at, I'll first set out the two roles. The role of the Commission, Mr. Misati, is to oversight the Secretariat and to provide strategic and policy guidelines for the Secretariat. The work of the Secretariat is to implement whatever that strategic plans that have been set out by the Commission. When it comes to recruitment, the Act specifically states that the Commission shall recruit the Chief Executive Officer. From there, the rest of the members of the staff of the Secretariat will be recruited by the directorates within the Secretariat. Remember, the Act also sets out that the Secretariat can put themselves in the position of directorates, agencies, committees. So when it comes to recruitment, the strict latter sense of recruitment shall be done by the Secretariat. However, there can be a HR committee which oversights the recruitment that has been done by whether these people are qualified, whether these people have requisite experience to do this work.
CEO wanted to dismiss a staff and it comes to your notice that it's unfair dismissal. What would be your intervention as a commissioner?
Thank you, Mr. Misati. You see, at the end of the day, everybody is guided by the law. The Employment Act also still covers the jurisdiction of IEBC. For you to make a determination that this person is unfit for office, what you need to look at first of all was notice to show cause issued. From there was a disciplinary hearing issued. From there, did the set out procedure for the Secretariat to follow. And it is at that point that once the Commission's role in dismissal of an employee is to just monitor whether the Secretariat, first of all, followed the set out procedures of, and at the end of the day, the person who signs the dismissal letter shall still be the Secretariat. The CEO of the Secretariat is the person who signs the dismissal.
Thanks so much. The last one, to follow up on issues of personnel. During a general election, there is a possibility of having recruitment of temporary staff. Just mention one or two things that is a risk when you are hiring such a huge number of staff during the general election.
The problem that has been encountered, especially in my experience when I was an observer, was that most election staff are not properly trained. Because of the rush to recruit these people, most of them are not properly trained. So the lack of training brings about small challenges which end up nullifying even ballots. A sanctity of a ballot is not guaranteed because maybe a polling clerk failed to stamp on the ballot paper. Number two, material, there is also a risk, there is always a risk of employees failing to turn up. So you find a polling center is understaffed because there was a rush in recruitment. People just indicated their names as polling clerks and then they failed to turn up. Another risk is that there is a challenge whereby the confidentiality of documents, especially when it regards to polling documents and materials, risk falling in the hands of staff who have not even signed confidentiality agreements and such.